All right, so we're out in the elements in the brick cold, but that's okay. If you're out running in the cold, I should be out recording in the cold. It's that simple. We're moving on to sub 120 half marathon. Okay, I've got 6 workouts here that can help you achieve this goal, whether you're a coach or an athlete, and at least give you some more insight, some more variety. And it's part of the progression. You'll see I started at sub 2 hours. You'll see workout progressions, whether it be in length of rep, volume of workout, pace of workout, and everything. And you'll see the different progressions along the way. I'm going to go down to sub 105. Next up will be sub 110 and then sub 105. And then we're going to move over to the marathon. I've done a 5K series and a 10K series just like this. They're in the description down below. So if this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel right now. Please don't leave without doing that, okay? I don't want you to miss all this good content. I've got 400 videos at your disposal for free here. But today, the focus is a sub 120 half marathon. So let's get to it, okay? You'll see. Slides pop up here. There's a cut down workout first, okay? This is a 3K, 2K, 2K, and then 3 times 1K. So if you add it up, okay, 6, 10, 13 kilometers worth of running. So it's a pretty decent amount of running. And again, you're building up towards this, okay? The 3K reps are at half marathon pace, okay, with a 2:30 recovery. So it's 6:03 to 6:04 per mile or 3:45 to 3:46 per kilometer, okay? Then the 2K reps are at about 10K pace with a 2-minute recovery, which is 5:46 to 5:47 per mile or 3:35 to 3:36 per kilometer. And then we're bringing down a little bit further between 10K and 5K pace for the 5K reps. Okay, it's a progression for those three. 5:46 down to 5:34 per mile or 3:36 down to 3:27 per kilometer. There's a 90-second or a 1:30 recovery after each kilometer rep. So again, it's 13 kilometers worth of volume. And again, you're building towards this. So if you can't hit this volume right now, don't worry about it. This is a workout you're building towards over time, okay? Next up is a simulation long run. This is a key component of training, simulating. So if your half marathon is going to be over rolling hills, it's important to do some workouts and some long runs over rolling hills, okay? To get used to the deviation in pace and fluctuation in terrain as well. If it's on the flat, then it's important to do some workouts or some long runs on the flat. But you can see here, you're building towards 14 to 16 miles, and then you do 5 times 100-meter stride after with a 100-meter jog recovery or 100-meter walk recovery, just to simulate your legs are fatigued. And this particular one, you alternate between an easy pace long run one week or a little bit faster pace the next week where you start to finish towards half marathon pace, okay? And alternating. Next up is a staple, 5 times 1.5 mile reps with a 2:30 recovery. You'll see in other half marathon simulations that I've got this with a 3-minute recovery. Now cutting back the recovery a little bit. There's a couple different ways you can progress. So with whether it's increasing volume, cutting rest, increasing the pace of your reps, there's a whole bunch of different ways. This one, we're cutting the rest. So 5 times 1.5 miles at half marathon pace. So in this case, it's 6:03 to 6:04 per mile, or 3:45 to 3:46 per kilometer. So if you do it up, let's see, 1.5 mile reps, you're looking at about 9:06 per rep or something right around there, 9:05 to 9:06 per rep. All right. That's a long staple workout. And the reason why I give so many different distances, because you might have athletes who can't handle longer stuff, who can only handle shorter stuff. And that's okay. That's totally okay. So that's why I'm giving you as much variety as possible. This one here is a speed fartlek variety, okay? You're doing 7 sets total. So basically, you do a minute 30 hard and a minute 30 easy, a minute hard, minute easy, then 30 seconds hard, 30 seconds easy. So if you add it up, the whole sequence itself is 3 minutes hard versus 3 minutes easy. And you're repeating that 7 times. So it's 42 minutes of total running, 21 of which are hard, okay? And you're progressing from 10K pace to the shorter, for the longer reps, down to 3K pace for the shorter reps. So you're progressing from about 5:47 down to 5:21 per mile pace, or 3:36 down to 3:19 per kilometer pace. I like to do miles and kilometers because some folks rely on kilometers more than the mile pace, and you'll get that moving forward, all the videos, particularly in this series. So, and again, this is after a warm-up and before a cool down, obviously. But the speed fartlek is very, very important for half marathon and even marathon training. Helps to build up that running economy, helps you become a little bit more fluid athlete, fluid runner, and helps in the longer races. So, and the longer runs as well, obviously. Next up is a progression run. It's different than the simulation long run. The progression run, you're progressing from from marathon pace down to half marathon pace. And you can even do a short warm-up if it's a mile or a half mile or whatever. And you're progressing from 6:20 pace per mile down to 6:03 per mile. So again, from your marathon pace, which equivalent marathon pace for this for a sub 120 is 6:20 per mile. Okay, work your way down to 6:03 per mile. Or kilometer efforts is going to be 3:56 per kilometer down to 3:45 per kilometer. That's the progression over time, 9 to 10 miles. And again, you're building towards these volumes. Don't worry if you can't get there right now. This is a progression over time. And lastly, this is a good, I call it a speed sandwich, essentially. So you start with a 5K and you run it at half marathon pace. So you run it at 6:03 to 6:04 per mile, or 3:45, 3:46 per kilometer. It simulates going out into your race and kind of settling into your pace. You take a 5-minute active recovery, and then you go into an 8 times 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy speed fartlek. Okay, from 10K pace down to 3K pace, which is 5:47 to 5:21 per mile, or 3:36 to 3:19 per kilometer. You take a 1 minute easy jog. After the last rep, you take a 5-minute recovery, and then you do another 5K at half marathon pace, 6:03 to 6:04 per mile. So, or 3:45 to 3:46 per kilometer. That basically allows you to kind of focus on surging and accelerating mid-race, and then holding on and settling for the end of the race. There's different ways you can do it. Okay, you can put some of these towards the end. You can break it up into pieces as well, and you'll see in other ones I've got like 2 miles and then a speed fartlek, 2 miles and a speed fartlek, or 2 miles and 400s, 2 miles and 400s. So you can do pace and then accelerating, pace and then accelerating. It teaches you how to accelerate a lot of different ways, whether it's in the beginning of the race or the middle of the race or the end of the race. This kind of gives you a little bit more variety. So let me know what you think. And again, please share this with other coaches and athletes that you know. Next up is going to be sub 110. So we're approaching, and we're going to get down to sub 105, which will be the last one. And then we're going to start up at 4 hours for the marathon and work our way all the way down to probably 210 for the marathon. So be ready for that as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you next time.